Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Um, if you guys are enjoying the Rise of the Witch King campaign, thank you guys so much for all the likes and all of you guys who are subscribing, and those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. I have a little bit of something different because I've been playing Destiny, Destiny 2, as a matter of fact, and I've been really enjoying it. So I figured, what's better to introduce the Destiny content than the story so far? And do not worry, never fear. I still will be doing the campaign of Rise of the Witch King. Episode 3 will begin recording tomorrow. I will record that tomorrow. It'll be up Saturday. Sunday, I may take the day off, wrap up whatever homework I didn't get done this weekend. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the video, and I might skip around a little bit, and the original video's link will be in the description down below. That way you guys can go ahead and check that out.
Giant, cold, aloof Dyson sphere in the sky, the outer shell of Destiny's story can be hard to get through.
This is also by the leaderboard, by the way. Go check them out. Give them a subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe to them. But before you do that, subscribe to my channel. We are at 88 out of 100. We are so fucking close to the 100 goal, and letting you guys choose what you guys want to see or what sort of celebration we have. I'm definitely willing to do that. And if we can get 2 more before December 11th, that is my birthday, then there will be an extra portion to letting you guys choose. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you guys already haven't. I went ahead and said that in the beginning of the video, so we wouldn't have to worry about it at the end.
Or of the Destiny universe scattered between online only groups.
I also will say I love Destiny. Like, Destiny 1 was the shit, right? It was so good. And I'm very disappointed that they kind of put the axe to Destiny 1. Kind of like meshed it with Destiny 2. But it's nothing else I can really do about that. Now, the free-to-play version kind of is, but getting those DLCs, it's actually kind of worth it. So I would highly suggest that. And yeah. I'm sorry, I keep rambling. Let's get into this.
Physical collector's edition books and individual pieces of gear, and with complex histories spanning millions of years and into parallel timelines, virtual realities, and alternate dimensions, it's easy to understand why many players get lost. But the Destiny universe has a beautiful and immense world full of interesting characters, fantastic stories, and satisfying payoffs for those who are willing to go the distance. But don't be alarmed if you don't have time to sift through its more than 2,000 lore entries in order to get a grasp of Destiny's story. We've got you covered. It's time for you to understand your destiny.
Okay, so when I say the story so far, what led to Destiny 2? Like, as soon as, Destiny 2 stuff comes in, that's where we're stopping, because we're going to be playing Destiny 2. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing like a playthrough of it. That may not work so well, but if you guys want to check that out, there will be a link to my Twitch in the description. I'll probably be streaming on YouTube more, but you guys can go check that out on the off chance that I am streaming there. There's also going to be a Discord link if you guys want to check out the Discord. I'm not very active in it because, like I said, I have a lot of homework to do, and my time is pretty stretched.
Before we kick things
That's
off,
a badass battle axe.
We won't be covering
Also, I like that
Iron
one.
and Curse of Osiris.
Oh, what?
Self-contained stories that don't bear too heavily on the overall narrative of the rest of the
Tier.
timeline. And we've got to give a big thanks
Zavala.
to Scooby D's, who put together that incredibly comprehensive timeline and wrote this very script. So he has power over every word I'm going to say going forward. Unknown eons past, the Traveler. Since the dawn of time, there's been a war between form and formless, order and disorder, the gentle and life-giving way of the sky and the
Hey, it's the speaker.
The Traveler is created to contain the power of the sky, wielding the power of its light, aka space magic, and journeying across the cosmos. It blesses civilization.
For those of you ladies and gentlemen on YouTube that are like, hey, I can't see you, it's very dark. I don't have the lights for this, and I'm cheap. So I usually use like the screen to light my face. But I know if I sit, like if I recline a little bit, it's, you know, can't really see. But here we go.
The Traveler would leave these worlds as quickly as it arrives, drawing as little attention to itself as possible, because its ancient enemy, the Deep, is always close behind.
I thought it was the darkness.
Enter the Hive. Sometime
yes.
before the creation of our solar system, the Hive. Great worms imprisoned deep in the core of a gas giant called Fundament use the power of the Deep to call out.
I remember doing that mission. That mission was a pain.
Across the
oh
void
my
of space
god!
To call others towards the gaseous planet. Over time, Fundament becomes filled with a multitude of life. The smallest and weakest of these species, the krill, discovers the dead corpse of a small larvae washed up on their shore. But this worm is more powerful in death, and whispers secrets to them about a coming apocalypse. The king of the Osmian Court, a nation tribe of the krill, becomes obsessed with the dead worm. Not surprisingly, when people see you talking to a dead animal and rambling about the end of the world, things don't go too well. After some minor drama involving a coup d'etat, the three surviving daughters of the Osmian king, Arusha, Sothona, and Zero, flee for their lives. Wormy One in tow. The sisters pledge an oath of vengeance against the traitor that overthrew their father, and the worm eventually leads them into the core of the planet where they meet the imprisoned great worms. The sisters make a pact with the worms, take their larvae as symbiotes, and gain the power over life and death itself. Oh right, and also minor detail, you have to keep feeding the worms through slaughter and conquest.
Ah, so that explains why the Hive is very, very pro. Let's go kill everything. Or unalive everything. I know YouTube doesn't like when you say
or
kill.
else they'll eat you from the inside out. But yeah, no biggie, right? We cool? We're cool. So
we
the
cool?
sisters
We cool.
take a bunch of the worms back up to the surface, tell their friends that drugs are cool, and will kill you if you don't take them, by the way. And thus the Hive are born. Arusha would become Oryx, the Taken King. Sothona would become Savathun, the Witch Queen, embodiment of cunning. And Zero.
So that would be the new deal or expansion, the Witch Queen, that is coming, or that has already came out and that I have not bought yet.
Would become Zivu Arath, the warrior. They reign at the top of the High Pantheon and learn how to hide their deaths in a parallel reality called the Ascendant Plane, which basically means they can only really be killed on their own turf. From there, the Hive go on to begin a reign of billions of years of
remember fighting Crota
and terror throughout the universe
that was
in service
fun.
of the worms and the deep. Nothing stands before the might of the Hive. Dawn of Life and Soul, the Nine.
Soul is our galaxy, I believe.
Unknowable. So thankfully,
we're gonna skip a little bit.
Sorry, man. As the systems spanning gravitational loops of dark matter form their thoughts, the Nine seek to understand our reality. For if life in the solar system were ever to die, the Nine would once again sleep. So thankfully, they're humanity's allies, for as long as that can remain true.
Gotcha.
Relatively recent history, the Fallen. Before arriving in the Sol system, the Traveler, like many worlds before, blesses a race called the Elixni and ushers them into a grand golden age. But when a cataclysm known as the Whirlwind brings a total collapse of Elixni society, the Traveler up and leaves. Thank you. Next.
All right, so this society's kind of fucked. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Let me know how that works out for you. Yeah. Here's my number. Don't call me.
The Elixni houses that still remain fall to infighting, war and famine rage. Thus, the Elixni become known as the Fallen. The Fallen create machines servitors made in the likeness of the Traveler to ration the ether they need for survival and to enforce a rigid hierarchy. Then they leave their dying home in pursuit of the Traveler, the Great Machine, to find salvation and reclaim their lost position as the Traveler's blessed. 21st century, the Traveler arrives. Finally, sometime in the 21st century, the Traveler arrives in our solar system. Humanity is...
So that looks like a Destiny 1's map. Hold on.
Century, the Traveler arrives. Finally, sometime in the 21st
Welcome
century,
back.
the traveler arrives
You have not missed
in
much.
our
And anything you did miss is being recorded, so you can go check it out on YouTube. Yeah, that looks like no, no, that's definitely that's Destiny 2.
solar system. Humanity
Damn.
is unsure of its intentions.
That's like when it first came
suddenly
out,
begins to
actually.
terraform Jupiter, Mercury, and Venus. 2 years later, the Ares 1 mission is sent to intercept the mysterious traveling orb as it arrives on Mars. This
Because
begins
in Destiny 1, I think you go to Venus and it's controlled by the Vex, like completely controlled by the Vex. The moon is like fucked. It is completely taken over by the Hive. Cosmodome and Earth is pretty much like a fallen stronghold, and then you have like the city, and that's it. I don't remember. There's a couple other planets. I feel like.
golden age of prosperity.
Oh yeah, and you had to fight
Advances in
Crota
technology,
and
scientific
Oryx and all that, and that was fun.
Human lifespans are only a few of the many benefits that the traveler brings. Fast
I was
travel between
talking in
golden
between
age
that. Okay.
mysterious traveling orb as
Yeah,
it
pay
arrives
attention.
on Mars. This begins a golden age of prosperity for humanity. Advances in technology, scientific understanding, and tripled human lifespans are only a few of the many benefits that the traveler brings. Fast travel between worlds becomes a reality, and new life begins to spring up on the worlds that the traveler visits. One
Yep.
such example are the Ahamkara. These shape-shifting wish dragons have the power to grant wishes to any who ask.
I feel like you fight and kill one of those in either Destiny 1 or Destiny 2, and I don't remember.
Feeding on the reality that they replace.
I feel like you kill one.
That's hot.
They eat reality and poop wishes. I'm not making this up. I couldn't make this up if I tried.
I feel like
the
you-
Golden Age is not without its troubles. On Venus, humanity discovers ancient ruins belonging to the Vex.
Yep.
A complex neural network of microorganisms.
Fighting them
riding
is such a
around in the
pain.
bellies of little Jaegers that convert anything they can get their hands on into part of their vast processing.
I think that looks like that looks like part of Destiny 1 map. And for those of you guys don't know, I love Destiny 1, and I am so sad. So anytime I can like kind of gush over the fact that I see part of Destiny 1, I'm gonna do that. I feel kind of robbed that I can never do like a gaming series on Destiny 1.
Network. Their goal to find a way to become part of the very fabric of the universe, something they call the pattern. To the Vex, there is no right and wrong, there is only the pattern. And the Vex meet any perceived threat to the pattern with
Oh, I remember doing that. That was such a
prejudice.
pain.
The Ishtar Collective is a scientific project founded on Venus to
Oh,
study the
yeah, I
Vex.
remember doing
Academics and
that. That was
scientists
such a
rush
fun
to Venus,
mission.
and the collective becomes a hub
So-
of scientific
It was a very
Though not
pretty.
without risks, one particular team of scientists finds themselves boxed into a simulation paradox, resulting in 227 sentient clones by the time they finally are able to escape the bounds of the simulation. In
Damn.
addition to the Ishtar Collective, the other main hub of scientific research during the Golden Age is a Martian facility founded by a man named Clovis Bray. The Clovis Bray research conglomerate is responsible for many scientific breakthroughs across the system, from engrams, a new state of matter capable of
Oh yeah, like so in Destiny 1, yeah, that you play through you play through the majority of this shit. You don't play through like the ancient stuff, but like going to Venus and finding out like all that other stuff, yeah, you go check that out. But unfortunately we can't play it anymore. I think you could play the campaign on console, but I'm not 100% sure. I can check that tonight.
storing incredibly complex objects and data in an encrypted state, to exoscience,
Hey, it's
transferring
Cade.
the human mind into a mechanical
Can I get an
frame,
F in the
to a
comments
robot
and in the
project,
chat
a
for
defensive
our
network
poor
of
buddy
4
Cade?
satellites powered and overseen by the AI Rasputin. Clovis's
God, that
daughter,
was such a
Anna
pain in
Bray,
the ass.
would teach the AI how to think and act as human, enabling Rasputin to have sole oversight over the warsats and defense of Earth and her colonies. Great Exodus ships are created to carry colonists to the new paradises that the Traveler has created for them and beyond. Some carry advanced Clovis Bray
I would
technologies
love
aiding
to,
colonization.
if I could.
Some carry great weapon forges to be a defense against the unknown, but all of them carry with them the hope of humanity's golden age. About 500 years ago, a collapse. But like the fallen before them, humanity's golden age is into a planet-sized simulation engine, undoing the days, the Vex really bad. Humanity's other enemies take advantage of the chaos. In days, the Vex transform Mercury into a planet-sized simulation engine, undoing the paradise that the Traveler had created there. And the Hive, led by two of Oryx's sons, Crota and Nokris, lay claim to Sol. Crota, the athletic one, had begun seeding an army deep within the moon. And
yeah, the moon,
Nokris,
that's
the
fucking sucked.
Goes above his dad, buddies
God, that shit was annoying.
Zol, and directly attacks Rasputin on Mars. Rasputin defeats Nokris and Zol by entombing them.
That looks like
ice,
Destiny 2, I
battle
can't
for
tell.
The system was far from over. Rasputin fights back against the darkness, but even bringing his full arsenal to bear, he is no match for the sheer might that he faces. Those who are able flee to the colony ships to escape the coming destruction, and as his Warsat network crumbles, Rasputin realizes that defeat, even extinction, is inevitable. Then something happens that had not happened since the beginning of the Traveler's journey. The Traveler chooses to stay. The reason for this choice is still debated, but the Traveler for the first time does not run away. And with the last of its remaining energy, the Traveler uses its light to push back the darkness. And so the collapse of humanity's golden age is finally over. But the system lies in ruin, and the darkness would be sure to return to finish what it started. But with its dying breath, the Traveler creates the ghosts, tiny fragments, pieces of its whole, to seek out and resurrect those capable of wielding its light. The Dark Age. Humanity is thrown into a dark.
And that's kind of like you find out. So through the story, like the story of Destiny 1 and shit like that, you'll find out a lot of this stuff. And unfortunately, the only way you're gonna probably find out is watching playthroughs and shit like that are already up. But yeah, like this was fucking groundbreaking when it came out. This was like hot shit. I remember, I think I was a freshman in high school when this came out. I think it came out in 2013. And like that was all anybody ever played. Like athletes, nerds, geeks, all, like everybody just played Destiny. We would sit there and talk about like the shit that we got, you know, all the exotic stuff that we got to, and we would compare that shit, and we would be like, all right, well, you know, tonight we'll go do this. Da da da. It's like, it was crazy.
Cage, where the only law is survival. The first ones chosen to be resurrected by their ghosts don't know what to make of their own newfound immortality. Many of these risen become violent warlords who rule wilderness fiefdoms with terror and awe. And then, just to kick them all down, the Fallen arrive. Desperate for survival and
it was so fun.
second child syndrome, the Fallen pirates begin pillaging and raiding among humanity's survivors. And then there's the Cabal, a vast militaristic empire with enormous world-ending machines. Cabal warriors forcefully expand their empire and absorb or destroy the races they conquer. An entire fleet arrives in the solar system, claiming Mars for themselves, and then they pretty much leave humanity alone. I mean, don't look a gift space turtle in the mouth, but why were they here? Were they running from the darkness? Were they following the darkness? Were they after the Traveler or Rasputin, or just...
Spoiler, Destiny 2 shows that they were totally after the Traveler.
Following ancient marching orders.
You can't play that. I don't think you can play that like that expansion anymore because it's been archived. But yeah, when Destiny 2 came out, that was like the premise of the game. The Cabal were after the Traveler and actually fucking succeeded in taking the Traveler and harnessing his energy, albeit forcefully, mind you. So the Traveler didn't really fucking like that. We lost all our light and shit, and so we had to completely like fight without it for like a mission or two, and then we went to find a piece of the Traveler that had broken off to get our light back. It was actually really fun. The first time playing it, and you got to learn the brand new classes and shit like that. So it was really fun. It was fun to do that. I don't know why they archived it, but I'm sure they had a good reason. This is like one of the few Bungie games aside from, I think Halo, wasn't Halo made by Bungie? Someone correct me in the comments. I think Halo was made by Bungie at one point. This has been like one of my favorite Bungie games ever.
400 years ago, the Iron Lords. In the
I
midst
don't really
of the
particularly care about that.
had progressed outside, decided to awaken as the Dark Age. And one can be sorry. A few centuries after the start of the Dark Age, the Awoken. When the Traveler used the last of its light to push back the darkness at the end of the collapse, a singularity formed at the edge between light and dark, and one of the fleeing Exodus ships was pushed into its crushing depths.
Yep.
Inside the singularity, a
They're
pocket
technically
universe
humans.
had formed, and
What's
the
up, Miss
destroyed
Antiloquy?
colonists
How
would
you
slowly
doing?
redefine themselves and reawaken as the immortal beings within their universe. These awoken
Forgot what I was gonna say.
discovering that thousands of years of their history had gone by while only centuries had progressed.
So basically, they're humans that got caught in not necessarily like a black hole, but kind of like a time stasis, I guess is the best way to put it, and turn their skin different color. They're pretty much human, but they're not. Oh yeah, I feel that. This is the first time in a while I've actually been able to like sit down and stream. I've mainly been recording on YouTube, which has been going very well. I'm very happy that we are growing a nice audience, and it's great.
Outside, decide to return to the world
Homework
they had
is
left.
school
Seeing
is
the fragile
taking a
state
lot.
of humanity, some Awoken chose to share their advanced technologies with Earth to help humanity's survivors, while others decide to hide themselves, making a new home in the reef. The ruins of ships that had fled Earth in the collapse, naming a queen by the name of
Yep.
Mara.
They were complete assholes when they first were introduced. They were kind of like dicks. If anybody's ever played Destiny 2 or Destiny, you kind of get that they were kind of fucking assholes. Guardian, bitch.
Mara sends her brother Uldren out to find what the
Fuck
new
Uldren,
universe
bro.
has to offer, and
So glad he
returns with a
died.
baby Ahamkara named Riven. Because of course, when you go out to see what the entire universe has to offer, you bring back a puppy. With the Wish Dragon's aid, Mara constructs a hidden city in the reef's entangled shores of the asteroid belt to be a safe haven for the Awoken. The Dreaming City and the Ahamkara living there would become the Reef Awoken's most closely guarded secret. Several decades after the Awoken emerge, the City Age. On Earth, rumor of the settlement growing underneath the trap.
So how y'all been? Y'all been doing good? And you on YouTube, you two on YouTube can be part of the live streams if you guys want to. There will be a link in the description down below, so you guys can be part of the fun and watch me slowly but steadily pass out due to tiredness.
Traveler spreads. Soon it was no longer a scattering of tents and shelters, but a city
It's
in its
Zavala.
own right. The last safe city.
How you doing,
in
big
its
guy?
earliest days, the city is divided by the faction wars, ideology that turns into extremism. In the middle of this chaos, the Fallen begin to attack.
Ghost.
Driving back a common
More
enemy
importantly,
helps to
I'm
unite the
your
Risen,
ghost.
who had been acting as the faction's muscles. They decide they will no longer be instruments of oppression, and they put an end to the faction wars, and from this point on would be known as Guardians. Afterwards, a man called the Speaker, claiming to speak for the Traveler.
So, those of you who don't remember, it was called the Red War. The Speaker actually was pretty fucking badass. He pretty much told the Cabal had taken the Traveler and thus captured the Speaker because the Speaker spoke for the Traveler, and the Traveler pretty much told the Cabal that captured him, yeah, eat a dick. I'm not doing what you want. Sorry, buddy. Fuck off. Yeah, and it was great. Kids are crazy. Fuck yeah, dude. Halloween's amazing.
Establishes the
I'm not gonna be doing
city
anything for
consensus
Halloween, but
and
still.
governing authority. The Guardians begin to form into separate classes: the quick and stealthy hunters, the powerful and strong titans, and the mystic intelligent warlocks. And construction
Hunters are the
begins on the
best.
city walls to
Fight
protect
me
its
if you
people from
dare.
the dangers of the pirates,
Hunters are the
fallen,
best.
and the wilderness. But before the construction of the walls can be completed,
Oh, sure.
the Fallen launch a major coordinated attack against the city.
Jesus.
This would come to be known
Nice,
as the Battle of
M16 it
Six
looks like
Fronts,
there.
where 4 orders of titans are remembered for
gonna
holding
dress
the
up as a
Fallen
hot
back from
Cheeto,
breaching
bro.
the
Fuck-
6
fuck
gaps in
yeah.
the city walls. Ultimately, the Fallen
I'm gonna
are
dress up as a
upheld in
college
many Guardian
dropout
legends.
because that's what I am
As the
technically.
walls are
I'm a trade
completed,
school
the Speaker calls
guy
for the
now.
formation
I'm a
of the
tradesman now, but
Vanguard, acting as the Guardian's central command in the city's first
I
line
am.
of
I was
defense.
before
The
that
first
technically a
Vanguard,
college
the Hunter
dropout.
Tallulah Fairwind, the Titan Saint 14, and the Warlock Osiris are
Osiris.
tasked with the defense of
Zavala.
the city. Setting up command in a tower on the city's walls, they send Guardians out into the system to scout for threats against the city and fight against the enemies of humanity wherever they may be found. Sometime in the last 100 is isn't the end of Callus. Eventually, his ship comes to the edge of the deep, and Callus has a nice chat, done some soul searching, and understands the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. So in a way, he kind of went to college. So he converts his world-eating prison ship into a world-eating luxury party ship.
All the good vibes like for the weather.
College, and then goes around recruiting the most fearsome warriors.
Why does he show Bud Light? Like, no offense to anybody who likes Bud Light, but that is like on my lowest tier of beer drink. If I was ever gonna drink a beer, I cannot stand it. I would drink a natural light. Actually, I have drank a natural light. I don't mind it. It tastes like flavored water. It tastes like hops flavored water. It's not that bad. But like Bush, fucking Bud, Natter Days, God, they're horrible. This is how I know I like my whiskey. And YouTube, just so you know, I am over the age of 21, so I can talk about this. Did you really? I'm curious. What color?
Across the galaxy to take back.
Oh, so these, by the way, these are the two. These two are the ones who took
the Guardians
Garden.
Start to make a few too many Ahamkara wishes. Not everyone reads their full wish service agreement. I mean, who has time to go through all that text anyways, right? And Venus starts to glitch out a bit with all the conflicting realities. The Ahamkara's power becomes too high a price to pay. So the Vanguard call for the extinction of the Ahamkara. This was probably all part of the Ahamkara's plan. They have that whole more powerful when dead thing going on, but we try not to think about that too much. Not long after the great Ahamkara hunt, a guardian named Kaber and his Led Zeppelin-loving fire team descend into a Vex construct known as the Vault of Glass.
Oh, that was a cool raid. I loved that.
Absolute.
That was a great fucking destroyer raid. Ooh, that's a nice cover.
Fear of being alone for the rest of his life until his light is
I'm growing all my hair out. I'm stopping shaving the sides for winter.
The city named Rezel Azir, Dredgen Yor has confronted the legends of the Hive deep in the tunnels of the moon, and the darkness he encountered there would become all-consuming. He constructed a powerful weapon named Thorn, capable of draining a Guardian's light. Dredgen Yor would go on to kill many more, becoming a feared and hated name among Guardians. The Vanguard, warned of the Hive threat, ordered an all-out assault against the Hive's base of operations on the moon. But the Guardians are unprepared to face Crota, the swole son of Oryx. Crota's son strikes down and drains the light from countless intended his darkness to be the catalyst that drove Shin to find the true power of light. So Shin, taking a new identity, goes on a quest retracing Dredgen Yor's steps in order to better understand the monster that made him. Under the name of Zaire Orsa, Shin would go on to co-found a group of Yor's disciples called the Shadows of Yor. Here, Shin Malphur could draw out guardians that would tempt the darkness and put down those who strayed too far. Not long after this, the city and a new vanguard, the Titan Savala, the warlock Ikora Ray, and the hunter Andal Brask, face their greatest crisis yet. Unknown to them, the Fallen have regrouped and plan to attack the city. I can safely say I've never dyed my hair ever. I have natural highlights that occur during the summer. My hair goes from a darker brown to a more like dirty blonde-esque hair color. It's not like super, or it actually is pretty super noticeable when I'm like outside all the time. Then you'll be able to see it. But come summer again, I'm shaving the sides because it's going to be like 100+ degrees. United fallen houses, but the awoken queen, Marasav, knew that if the largest of the fallen houses, the House of Wolves, were to reach Earth, it would mean the end of the city. Without a way to warn the Earth, the awoken fleet intercepts the House of Wolves in the asteroid belt, destroying the base on Ceres, along with the entire dwarf planet. Sorry, Ceres, and a bunch of bad guys along with it. Thus begins the Reef Wars. Years of fighting between the Awoken of the Reef and the fallen House of Wolves. At the end of the Reef Wars, the Wolves are defeated and Queen Marasavs becomes their Kel. Back outside the city, without the support of the House of Wolves, the fallen houses of Devils, Kings, and Winter are defeated and finally driven back at a battle known as Twilight Gap. After this, the Fallen would
Very
never
itchy.
be able to unite under a single banner again. After Twilight Gap, a former warlord, a titan named Lord Shax, sees a need for future Guardians to receive tactical training in live fire arenas. So he founds the Crucible, where Guardians
Hey,
can
it's
fight
the
one
same
another to
pistol I
hone their
have.
skills and better prepare against the city's enemies. Quick note here, the Crucible existed prior to this, but as a completely different thing. More of a facilitation to an old Western-style duel. Shax's Crucible, as we know today, started here. Another Titan, Saint 14, goes on a famed crusade against the Fallen in the name of the hero guardian that he prophesied would one day come. Little did he know, as he left the city in search of the exiled warlock Osiris.
Okay, I would love to finish this, but I don't think I physically can. I am trying very hard not to fall asleep right now. I'm not normally up this late. I've become an old man, if you will. I've gotten to the point where I go to bed fairly early. But those of you who are watching on YouTube, I can't thank you guys enough to making it to the end of the video. If you guys want to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, again, I'm going to remind you because subscribing is mandatory now. We are at 88 at least at time of recording. I haven't checked. We are at 88 subscribers. If we can get to 90 before December 11th, I'll add on an extra portion of what you guys can choose. And if we get to 100 by the end of December, then I'm letting you guys choose what we do for the celebration, like you guys know. So be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you guys want to comment and you guys want to tell me what you want me to react or play next, I can definitely do more Destiny stuff. I will be playing Destiny off screen. But do not fear, like I said, the part 3 of the Rise of the Witch King campaign will be up tonight. But I will see you ladies and gentlemen on YouTube later. See you guys.